this is a fight. Anything can happen in the fight, especially when you're starting to, like Jake Paul, you're starting to kind of put the mechanics in there. Obviously, it takes time to really learn the mechanics and how to put the punches together.
If Jake Paul lands a punch on Anthony Joshua, I don't want to hear nothing. Otherwise, karma.
Yeah.
Karma for punching on platinum like that. Anthony Joshua, I'm excited to watch. Either Jake Paul does decent or something, I don't know, lands a jab and runs, or Joshua's cleaning clocks.
And this is my take on it, because I say impossible is nothing.
Impossible is nothing. I agree.
You're absolutely right. I obviously, with the pedigree, with what Anthony Joshua has done and who he is, you expect that. But it ain't the first time we've seen boxers not take someone seriously and then go out there and get embarrassed. We look at all the great champions, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis, all these guys have made that mistake of, oh, I'm fighting Hasim Rahman. I'm trained for a month. I don't really care that much. And see what happened. I'm fighting Buster Douglas. I'm not going to trade that much. And we see what happens.
He does have some knockout power, so I'm not taking that away from him. But it's not like it's scary knockout power. It's not the type of power that's going to force Anthony Joshua to have to dance around the ring, get on his bike, play cat and mouse, dancing around, picking shots and stick and move. No way. Remember what Anthony Joshua did to Francis Ngannou in Saudi Arabia.
I mean, he should destroy him like he destroyed Ngannou. And a lot of people will use that comparison. But styles make fights. And Jake Paul's not going to fight him the way Ngannou fought him. That's number one. And while we look at all the advantages that Joshua has, let's look at how I look at where maybe Paul has some advantages. He's younger. His feet are a little faster. I know he's not at that level of a fighter. I get it. But his feet are faster. Joshua's feet are not that fast, closing gaps, getting to somebody. To hit him, even if you're better than him, you still got to get to him to hit him. Also, Joshua, last time he fought was over a year. He hasn't fought. He was basically retired. Where's his mind at? He got knocked out terribly by Dubois. Where's his confidence? Where's his mindset? Where is he?
It's crazy. I was like, this is finally, like, you went from from fighting a 135 pounder in Tank to fighting this monster, this gargantuan motherfucker. I was like, holy shit. I got to tip my hat. I got to literally go, hey, I tip my hat to you. I don't know if it's smart. None of us are going to know until we actually see it. If you go out there and get it done. And I said this the other day, if he goes out there and just drops him, if he goes out there and just like hits him, drops him, rocks him, any of those things, he's won. Not that he's won the fight, but he's won. And what I mean by he's won is that, like, you take a look at what happened with Francis Ngannou. He got right into the rankings because he dropped Tyson Fury and he lost. What do you think is going to happen? If Jake Paul lands a shot against Anthony Joshua and stuns him or rocks him or any of those things, he's going to blow up. Everyone's going to believe like he's legit.
Boxing is, a sport where everybody's got a puncher's chance. That's why we're all watching, right? But if Anthony Joshua doesn't get on his foot, if Anthony Joshua doesn't get on his bicycle, start moving around and fight Jake Paul like pop, oh, you missed, pop, use that range, start hitting the body, make Jake Paul work, make him miss.
Yeah.
He can destroy Jake Paul, but I don't see that happen. I think he's going to try to prove a point. And you know what? Maybe my black ass don't know nothing. I don't know shit about boxing, right? But I feel that Jake Paul could potentially knock out Anthony Joshua. I'm just saying it.
Now, Mighty Mouse finishes by saying that he doesn't know shit about boxing, okay? And in this occasion, I agree with you, Mighty Mouse. I love you, brother. He had an incredible career, and the man's awesome. Maybe he's doing this for clicks. I don't know what he's talking about, right? There's no way on this earth that this fight ends with Jake Paul knocking out Anthony Joshua. And it's so crazy to say because remember, before it was Anthony Joshua, it was Gervonta Davis. So he went from someone that's 135 pounds to like 260 pounds, okay? From a man that was half his size and they had everyone talking on social media to all of a sudden Jake Paul's the small guy and Anthony Joshua's towering over him. He's got way more experience. He hits harder. He's the bigger man. He's got the longer reach. He's an Olympic champion.
I mean, if Anthony Joshua and Jake go stand in the middle and trade,
Yeah.
like Jake has serious power. He's proved that. He's knocked a lot of people out. Not necessarily that big, but he's got power. Exactly like you said. If Anthony goes out there and tries to really box and show, I mean, he's got how many more years of experience? Like experience is real. If he goes out there and uses that, and at the end of the day, in any fight, it's about who had a better camp, who's gonna show up that night, and that's what it's gonna be like. But yeah, if Jake knocks out Anthony Joshua, it would be one of the most inspiring fights of all time. Like to see Jake Paul knock out someone that caliber would be insane. It would be fucking wild.
It honestly doesn't make sense to me. Because as everyone has rightly observed, I'm not adding much to the conversation, but just to sort of go over the high points, if Jake wins, this is, I mean, obviously it would be enormous for him, but it would be ruinous, I mean, truly ruinous for Anthony Joshua. By the way, he needs to get back after that Dubois terrible loss.
Sure.
But nevertheless, still probably has a Tyson Fury London homecoming in front of him. This would not only ruin his career more broadly, but would specifically in the short run, I mean, just immolate any of those plans. So he's like,
Yeah,
well,
dude, no one's worried about those plans.
okay, well, hold on.
right? Like,
Well, I
you
mean,
know,
dude,
those plans aren't in.
okay, but this is my point. So that doesn't make a lot of sense. Then on the other side, it's like, all right, Jake, if you lose this, the likelihood that you would lose it is A, high, and B, the likelihood that this would be violent to the point of also being ruinous is also exceedingly high.
And the weight, Paul's smart. He always puts clauses in there. I know this is the first time he's fighting a guy who's bigger than him and all that stuff, but he put in a 245-pound weight, clause where he can't come in over 245. What is Joshua weighing? He was off over a year. He was basically retired. Was he 280? Was he 290? Was he 275? Easily could be the case. He didn't have a lot of time now to get to 245. How does that affect him? Oh, we forgot about that. It's a little thing, but it's not that little. It's a thing that Paul put there for a reason. Again, Paul hasn't made too many mistakes. He's been pretty damn smart. I'm not saying he's the fighter that Joshua is, but I don't know if Joshua's the fighter that Joshua was.
He's taken away his best thing against me, which is his power. And we've seen him when he's a little bit lighter and there's just not as much thump on the punches. And I think that's probably the best thing he could have had is that extra oomph in those punches. But it's his game plan, whatever he wants. But to me, the weight doesn't matter. The weight's not going to make a difference. It's going to be the skills that win this fight. And I believe my skills are better than his, which is a crazy thing to say, but he's a very basic fighter and he's gotten to where he's at because of the size and because of the power. So the skills are what's going to win this fight, and you've seen that with Usyk when he fought him, and so I believe it's going to be very similar to that.
This is a dangerous fight, and that appeals to me. That makes me curious to go and watch him fight. Now, am I watching it partially because I kind of want to see him get humbled a bit? Yeah, I do, but that's good. Whether somebody like me, who's been a bit of a critic, wants to go and see him get humbled or show that he's got to dig in deep and prove himself, that's fine. It's still me viewing it. It's me watching it. And I think there's going to be pretty split 50-50 when it comes to that kind of fight on people watching it because they want to see Jake Paul win and continue his success. And then the other half who want to see him get beat up. Conor McGregor had a very similar impact on people. People loved him or they freaking hated him. And guess what? That's what makes him a genius. And that, I will admit, is why I do think Jake Paul, in a lot of ways, is a genius when it comes to this stuff.
The world has gone crazy. It has truly lost the plot because a lot of people, a lot of respected people, combat sports champions, are saying that Jake Paul is going to knock out Anthony Joshua. We had Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, a tremendous world champion, one of the best boxers of his generation. Apparently, and I don't know if he's serious, but he says that he puts £1 million on Jake Paul to knock out Anthony Joshua.
Seriously? Jake Paul chins AJ, yes, they fight. Are you serious? 100%. If they fight, I'm putting £1 million on Jake Paul.
Now, we know, first of all, that Tyson Fury doesn't really like Anthony Joshua. So maybe he's just saying that. Maybe he's talking shit. Or has he really put £1 million on? Because if he has, I want to see that betting slip.